Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Actors Area. I'm your host, Shaun Grant. As always, super excited to be here, super excited to share with you some really great input and insight as you further your acting entertainment career along. So, if this is your first time tuning in, just know that I try to be as unconventional as possible when I'm giving certain advice. You know, there's certain things out there that anybody can get on a podcast and anybody can tell you about and to help you see. And that's great. I'm not taking anything away from those people. But at the same time, what I do is I meditate deeply to see what is it that I can share with the rest of the acting entertainment world to help them to further their career along. What can I do? What can I offer to help them just to be in a better position every single day as they go out and approach, their careers? And so what I came up with today is something that I feel like is truly huge. And I titled it The Biggest Time Saver as an Actor. So what I'm going to start with first, guys, is I want you to meditate. And I say this with so much emphasis that I feel like if we get to the point to where we can meditate frequently, and when I say frequently, if you can get in as much as you possibly can per day, and it only has to be about 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but the longer you do it, the more you feel it resonate with your soul, the better off you will feel, the more clarity you will feel, the more you'll be able to put yourself into a position to where you can just basically see things for what they truly are. And I know this is what this business is about. This is what it comes down to, is just seeing things for what they truly are and being able to act intuitively upon what you see. So with that being said, I want you to meditate, because here's what happens when you decide to meditate on a regular basis, even if you're taking a little bit of 5-minute chunks here and there throughout your day. When you meditate, you open your valve for universal energy to flow through. And when you're flowing in alignment with universal energy, what happens is you rise to the vibration of the universe, which means that you are open to infinite possibilities when you're at that level of consciousness. So it's important for us to always be right there. And so when we find a way to be at that level, we receive intuitive divine information that never leads us astray. And I can tell you from experience, when you really tune into this and you really feel it on the deeper level, you'll know and you'll begin to get more familiar with this intuitive guidance, okay? So stay with me. I'm leading you to a place that's going to really help you. So once you start to tune into that intuitive guidance, that divine guidance, that just energy, that divine energy that sparks you into action, here is where the biggest time saver will come into play, okay? So you've meditated, you have peace of mind, you're calm, you're not stressed out, you're not fearful, you're not worried, but you're waiting to take action. And so when I started to do this, I can give you a little bit of backstory here. For the longest time, I would just take any and every single audition that came my way. And there were a lot of times where it was clear that I just wasn't going to get the job. The audition just wasn't resonating with me on a deeper level, in a sense of there was nothing that would come from it, and I felt this intuitively. Now, you may be saying like, well, I'm not intuitive, but what I do is encourage you to meditate so you can start to feel these things. And what happens is when you receive an audition or you think that something might be good for you, you can fall into that place of meditation and immediately you will recognize your intuition, your guidance system telling you if this is a good fit for you or not. And so just think about What would happen if you didn't go to an audition that wasn't in your best interest, and you didn't have to spend the hour to get there? You didn't have to spend the 30 minutes to get ready. You didn't have to spend the 45 minutes in the waiting room to get in there, and then the other 5 or 10 minutes to audition. Think about all the time that you've just saved to where you can do something on a creative level that helps to promote your career even more so than that audition would be. See, the normal thought is that we go on as many auditions as possible to where we can get comfortable. Well, I feel like this. Auditioning is great, but here's what happens. You begin to become a great auditioner when you can enter the room at peace. You can enter the room with no fear or worry. That is the only thing that will disrupt you other than being unprepared. But that is the only thing that will disrupt you from having a good audition is when you're nervous, when you're fearful, when you're worrisome. If you can get rid of that, you don't need to go on a million different auditions. You can not audition for an entire year and then pop back in and do an amazing job. The thing is here, how we're saving time, because when I've added all those things up, I've pretty much added almost 2.5, 3 hours altogether that you put in to something that's not going to lead to anything else. Okay, so that's what we want to get away from, because our time is valuable, and how we use it will determine how far we go in our careers and how far we go in our lives. All right, so you're at that point where you get the audition, you receive the audition, whether it's from your agent, and it's a good idea to just kind of let your agents know right away, if you're not feeling it, don't do it. Don't just go because you feel like you want to get in their good graces. You want to go to this because you feel like, okay, even if I don't get this job, there's something here for me. There's something here that I need to be aware of in order to continue to progress the way that I want to progress in my career. All right. So you've gotten the audition. You're at a space to where, okay, I'm feeling intuitively. I'm not trying to strain or to stress, but I'm just allowing to see if there's any subtle changes within my energy that tells me I need to do this. So here's a story for you in how this worked. I just did a project for AOL recently. And when I got the audition, I didn't feel anything. Initially, it was just kind of neutral, kind of caught into the middle. And so, I was like, I'm going to think about it for a while. So I went into meditation, did my meditation, thought about it, and still didn't get anything. And so the great thing is I had a couple days to kind of dwell upon it. But then right about a day and a half after I got it, my mother-in-law was in town, and she just kind of gave me some insight, and what that was an intuitive nudge to tell me that I needed to go. She just said, for some reason, I really think you should go to this audition. And I took that as a nudge from the universe saying, okay, well, let me do this. Let me go see what this is all about. And I wound up having the very best audition that I could have ever had, booked the job, had so much fun doing the job over at AOL Studios in Beverly Hills. And it was just an amazing experience. And not only was it an amazing experience, it was a setup that I'd never really been familiar with. I've done a couple times, but not too much. So I learned a lot in reference to how this whole project was filmed. So there was so much that came from this, and it all got back to me listening to, once again, those divine nudges, listening to those intuitive hunches that can come either from you or come from people outside of you that tell you when to act upon it. So all I'm getting at is ultimately when we go through this process, we really hone in to the projects that are best for us. And if we can hone into the projects that are best for us, like I said, we will move further along faster than most people because we're not taking wasted action. Here's the biggest thing you see when dealing with performers, especially young performers, or not even young, but inexperienced, in a sense of go on every audition possible. You don't have to do that. Work on being at peace. Work on knowing that, these people are here to hire you. You're offering your talents and your gifts to them. It's not you having to work, for them. I mean, well, it kind of is, but then you also have to know that you're there because you have something great to offer to that project, and stop right there. Once you do that, then you can come from a place of, you know what, let me have fun with this. Let me be at peace with this. Let me be in a space of, I'm really good at what I do and I want to show you so you can see that it's worth hiring me. And right when you reach that point, when that resonates enough deeply with you, you'll find that your auditions will change. I think I had this happened, and I had literally the best 7 or 8 auditions I could have ever had. I remember when I went in to read for Jane the Virgin, and it was probably the best read that I ever had. The casting director and director literally changed or had me do it 7 or 8 times. And I just felt so confident because I knew this is what I do. This is my purpose. I am a really, really good actor and I have a lot to share. And so it just became such a fulfilling experience to be able to come from that place and give that to them. Okay. So not to get too far off track because we only have a little bit of time left. Think about your time as it relates to your career, as it relates to your life. You can't get back any time that you give away. So we really have to dive in deep to see, okay, what resonates the best with us? What is in our best interest? What direction should we move in? Even if it looks like it's something that could be intriguing, what does our heart tell us in regards to this audition or in regards to this project? And is it something, this is the most important question, is it something that's going to allow our career to evolve into having more purpose and just moving higher up within the grand scheme of things, okay? Because you always want to be progressing. If you're not progressing and you're staying still, that's when we got to check our beliefs. That's when we have to check our actions to see what we're doing. So this is another thing, just as a calibration technique to kind of see where you are, try it out. And who knows, you may give yourself 3 hours to create a script that may be on network television in a few years, or a movie that you may be able to send off, screenplay. You may be able to send off to somebody that can help you to get it shot. There's so many infinite possibilities that can come from you making the right decision on whether or not if an audition is right for you, if a project is right for you. Never apologize. And this is the last thing I'm going to tell you. Never feel like you have to apologize for anything that doesn't feel right with you. So much, especially the last 10 years since I've been in it, has seemed like people have to take jobs. They have to take parts. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is to be true to yourself and to be true to your craft. If you take the job, then you go all out. But if it doesn't feel right to you, if it doesn't feel like it's resonating on a deeper level, then you pass on, because you know that there's something greater out there for you. And all you have to do, once again, is be true to yourself. Because when you're true to yourself, that's when things begin to open up for you on an even higher level. And things start to resonate with you on a divine scale. Because that's the point when we have things that are actually going to move us forward in our careers. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. It's always a pleasure, but it's been a pleasure as well to kind of talk with you. Hope you can get something out of this. Stay tuned for the next episode. Have a wonderful day. Cheers and best wishes in your career as you go out there today and tackle success once again, guys. Thanks so much. Once again, take care. Bye-bye.